All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we got a jam-packed video for you. Today, as you guys know, is episode 67. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about Tesla taking a dip on bad sales numbers. We also have an Israeli airstrike that killed a general, which is also impacting the stock market. And then we're going to talk about the stocks that usually prevail when there are bad times in the market, such as SLV. And we're also going to take a look at oil stocks. Also, we're going to take a look at the fact that Jerome Powell is going to speak Wednesday, which is tomorrow. I'm doing this video on Tuesday during market hours. So let's get into the video. All right, so it says here Tesla stock slumps as delivery numbers miss the market by a wide margin. It says Tesla delivered far fewer vehicles than expected in the first quarter, a serious demand issue. Tesla Inc. shares tumbled more than 5% on Tuesday after the EV maker posted delivery figures that fell well short of Wall Street's already dimmed expectations. Tesla delivered 386,783 electric vehicles in the first quarter, it said in a morning release that compares with expectations of 457,000 EVs, according to FactSet, and deliveries of 423,000 EVs in the first quarter of 2023. So that's a huge, huge dip, guys. Decline in volumes was partially due to the early phase of the production ramp of the updated Model 3, as well as our Fremont factory and factory shutdowns resulting from shipping diversions caused by the Red Sea conflict and an arson attack at the Gigafactory in Berlin, Tesla said in its release. Model 3 and Model Y units combined accounted for 369,783 of Tesla's deliveries in the latest quarter. Tesla also disclosed production of 433,371 units in the first quarter. The discrepancy between deliveries and production implies about 46,000 EVs in inventory, which confirms that beyond the known production bottleneck, there may also be serious demand issue. Wow. And that's kind of crazy when you have an issue where the demand for the actual stock is going down. That's just crazy. So let's go ahead and hop on into Robinhood and we'll take a look at Tesla. So this is Tesla so far today. It's down 5% on the day. But if you look here this morning, it says 12 a.m. Bam, bam, bam. It just keeps going. Had a little spike here at around 7:35. So it looks like, the day was going to be decent. And it kind of went down. And I guess when the news came out at 9:05 a.m. with the deliveries, it just comes off a cliff. And here, boom, it drops all the way from 172.87 all the way down here to the lowest point, which was 162.41. That is a massive, massive gap, guys. If you if you had hindsight and you got in, the day before, whew, you made a lot of money. It's currently going back up. Right now, the price is at 165. But this is huge news, guys. So even though you see it going up, I would expect it to dip even further. It is what it is. You missing sales, probably the first time in a long while, based on the fact that demand for the product is low. That's not good at all. I do know a couple of weeks ago, they announced that they were going to go ahead and increase the prices, on some of the cars, and that actually made the stock price go up. But the fact now that this report comes out and, the demand is low is really, really crazy, and it's definitely not good news. Also, remember, BYD recently took them over as the number one EV maker, with a dominant sales numbers coming out of China. And BYD's stock is actually up today as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla on the chart. And if we go ahead here and we look at the daily, we can see it just hits the channel up here, comes all the way back down. And then these bubbles are like huge selling. So it just keeps selling off, pops up here again. Like I said, this was probably around the time when they announced that they were going to have an increase in the price. And then it just keeps going down. peak here, and this is where we're at now. So it's at the absolute bottom of the channel. If it breaks, we're looking for it to go below 160, and that's, it's, in my opinion, I think it's just going to keep running. So keep an eye on Tesla. Again, like I always tell you guys, trade with the trend. Don't trade off your emotions. I know you guys love Tesla. You want it to go up. But if the news is bad right now and it's going down, then that's the wave you need to be riding. All right, so next up we have top Iranian general killed by Israeli airstrike. This appears to be the building where the strike took place, and this is definitely something that's affecting the market. It says here an Israeli airstrike killed a top Iranian general as it targeted a building near the Iranian embassy in Damascus. Two sources familiar told Axios. The big picture. This is the major blow to Iran as Brigadier General Mohammad Reza Zahidi was the commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, Quds Force in Syria and Lebanon. The general was the key Iranian military official in charge of relations with Hezbollah, so that is huge, in Lebanon, and the pro-Iranian militants in Syria. So this is huge news. The overall market is actually down as a result of this, but for some reason oil prices are rising, and I am going to assume that that is because most of the oil comes out of that region, and I'm sure it's going to make things difficult because now that a top general has been killed that's linked to Hezbollah. If you guys know anything about Hezbollah, they're the big, the big money behind a lot of the conflict that's going on there, and they're backing pretty much the Muslim side. So we have the Jews against the Muslims over there, and that's exactly what's going on. There's another article here from Benzinga. It says Israel kills top Iranian general. Oil rises. Not great for stock market. No inflation story. But if you guys just think about it logically, this is going to send the prices of oil up, which, gas goes up. When gas goes up, everything else goes up. Transportation costs goes up, and then that's going to also affect, the price of products. So this is definitely going to have a huge impact, and the market is reacting to it. Pretty much everything was red today. So let's look at some of the key notes here. It says in this article, it says an Israeli airstrike on the Iranian consulate in Damascus, Syria, killed a top Iranian general. Iran is vowing revenge. So, that's definitely huge. The chart shows oil is rising. Like I told you guys, both trend lines on the chart show a bottoming pattern in oil. The upper trend line on the chart shows that oil is threatening to break out. Rising oil means higher gasoline prices. The general American public tends to measure inflation by gas prices. So that is definitely huge. And if we hop into Robinhood here and we take a look at some of the top oil stocks, we'll see. I know Oxy was actually up this morning. It spiked up on the news, as you can see right now. Oxy is up, 0.5% today, but at its peak right now it's 66.71. But at its peak today, it was 67.95 or 68. Yeah, it was actually 68. I posted that on my story on Instagram, so I have my alert set, and this is also on watch for me as well. Next up, we have XOM, which is ExxonMobil, and we'll see that Exxon is up 1% today to 118.56. And this is when almost every other stock is down. So you guys got to pay attention to this, guys. The news can be very impactful. Let's take a look at Chevron. Chevron's up as well for the day. It had a peak today at 161. Now it's down to 159. So I would say, I would pull this up on the chart, guys, and then set your alerts, when it gets to a certain point, whichever direction you want to go. But it looks like I said, the whole market is bracing with the anticipation that these stocks are going to start moving within the next couple of days. So you definitely want to keep oil stocks. Another one is this oil ETF, XOP, right? This is the Spider Oil and Gas Exploration and Production ETF. This one's down right now. It was up a little bit today, up 1%, and then it kind of went back down. So just keep your eyes on these stocks to figure out exactly where they're going to be going. But this is huge news. It definitely impacted the overall market today. So you definitely want to pay attention to this. All right, so next up, let's go ahead and take a look at SLV. As you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, whenever the market has a general downtrend, I always look towards the stocks that are primarily used as a hedge. And just, they're not the biggest movers, but they do provide a lot of stability in your account. And one of these stocks is SLV. Now, any kind of rare metal ETF is good as well. I just prefer SLV. It always works out for me. It's an ETF that tracks silver. As you guys can see, like I said, the overall market was down because of the news with the airstrike over there in the east. And as you can see for today, it's up 3.15%. It's also a good overall investment. Max time, the stock is up, 82%. If we go to 5 years, it is up 65. If we go to a year, it's up 7. Year to date, 7. Last 3 months, right? 7%. 1 month, 9%. 1 week, 4. And then today, like I said, up 3. Now, you can also look at another one to look at is GLD. This one also has a good track record over max time. But as you guys can see, much bigger gains, 370%, but it's also a more expensive stock. So I have a tendency to play options on the calls on the stocks that I own, because I'm familiar with how they move. So I could pretty much, get a leg up on how the stock will perform, because it's something that I own. I look at it every day. So gold. The GLD ticker is also pretty good, but as you guys can see, this is a $209 stock versus the SLV stock, which is, 20-something dollars. So obviously when the stock is more expensive, options will also be more expensive. So you want to bear that in mind. But like I said, I usually keep an eye on this. Currently, I'm actually playing options calls on silver, and up until this point where I'm doing this recording today, I'm up over 50% on the calls that I played on this. So keep an eye on this. Whenever there's impending turmoil or doom, you also want to take a look at the stocks that are going to move in the opposite direction of the general market. All right. So pay attention to hedging stocks, precious metals. Probably Bitcoin will start to shoot up again. So just keep an eye on things like that. So next we have a request from one of my viewers to take a look at Cronus Group. The ticker symbol is CRON. This is pretty much a marijuana stock. Her name was Laura. Laura, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of marijuana stocks. You can see here, if you look at the max time, this stock in its heyday, when it became public, was trading at $7. Right now, it is at $2.66. Marijuana stocks have been trending, as you guys know, because of the recent news with the vice president trying to lower the classification of the drug to a much less harmful drug. And then we also had news that Germany legalized it, and I'm sure other companies will follow suit. But I'll be honest with you, I think that news is kind of now like fading out. If you look at it over the last week or say a month, it was up, 30-something percent. So it did look like this stock actually benefited from this. Long term, I would trade stocks like this. I personally, I wouldn't own these stocks. This stock seems to be very similar to something like Canopy. And over a month, this stock was up 32%. Let's see what Canopy was doing over a month. Canopy was up 167%. So if you wanted to play this stock based on trends, I would say Canopy is a better buy. And then finally, we have Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, speaking on Wednesday at 12:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you guys make sure you pay attention to that. You guys know when this guy speaks, the market goes crazy. So you definitely want to pay attention to that and try to see if you could make your trades based on what direction the market is going. I just wanted to show you guys real quickly as well. If you want to see my one of my most recent plays, you can look at my shorts on YouTube. This is the most recent short here, which just shows a play that I did on SPY. And this is the actual page. This is my page. I'm trying to see if I could get to 1,000 subscribers, guys. So please help out. If you find the information useful, go ahead and hit subscribe, and go ahead also and like this video. Thank you again for watching the video today. I really hope you found this information useful. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace.